Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Stoppage Time Penalty Show with your host, Tobrise, the best grassroots football player on the internet. Yes, I think I'm going to stick with that.
We've all just agreed.
Thank you to everyone that's been tuning in. Again, please like and subscribe. At the top, I have professional footballer all the way from Finland. Jose, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good stuff. And then at the bottom, we have Coach Barry, founder of Independent. How are you doing, sir?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone out there.
Cool. So today is going to be a jam-packed show. At 8:15, we have Liam, manager of Croydon FC, and he'll be talking about his experiences as a manager, the ups and downs. And yeah, we'll be just kind of going into, a very open conversation. So guys, please feel free to ask any questions. And then at 9 o'clock, we'll be talking about the Santos versus Independent game that was yesterday. Yes, let me not say anything more, again, I don't want to spoil anything until, literally until we like come on. So let me kind of come up here. How is everyone? How was your weekend, Jose?
Yeah, it was good. We've had our last free weekend before we go into season action. So our league starts next week, and we've had a rough couple of weeks lately. A couple of losses. That one of them was our first loss in quite a few games. I think it's actually interesting because I saw the quotes on just before that for Croydon, their home form cost them. For us, it's our away form. And our away form has been a very big issue. It was an issue last season, apparently, and it's been an issue this season. So we start with an away fixture next week as well. So I'm really interested to see how it goes.
Cool. And Coach Barry, how's your weekend been?
It's been a mixed weekend. We had a good morning on Saturday. The under 13s, the under 12s won 9-0, and under 10s won 9-1. So it was a fantastic day for the youth Saturday morning, and we've been doing really well. We've got 2 under 13s now on trial at Charlton on 6 weeks trial, and they've done. One of them is doing superbly well, so I'm really happy for him and his family. So we're still progressing, we're still moving. We're just about coming up to do trials next month. So any youngsters want to join the club, I'll get something and I'll put it out to you later, Tobrise, so you can put it out there to everyone. But yeah, we had a really nice morning. I really enjoyed my morning. And today we had the community session where we do coaching for all the kids in the area. Come down to Nuffield and we just do free coaching sessions for them. So I've had 2 nice mornings so far. Let's see how the rest of Sunday goes.
So Jose, the Finnish league, are you guys in the middle of the league, at the end, at the beginning? What's the schedule like?
For us, it's pure beginning. It starts next week. We've had the cup a couple of weeks ago. I want to say 2 weeks ago. So it was a big long travel, the 7-hour trip. Didn't go as well as we expected. I was more confident that we'd be coming home with a win, but unfortunately not. And football, at least it gives us a chance to fully focus on the league. It all starts next Saturday with a trip to Vaasa away. So that's a 4-hour trip for us. Wow. Another long away day.
Yeah. And Tobrise, let's not forget Tobrise. Let's say a belated happy birthday to one of the panelists, Owen. Happy birthday, Owen, wherever you are. Yeah. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And again, Owen is one of the pillars in our WhatsApp group and literally on the show, and he's literally enjoying a big birthday. We've seen a picture where he's at a very fancy restaurant. I mean, I don't, people say that I can't cook, which is absolutely wrong. I can, I think I kind of, I can kind of hold my own. But again, big shout out to like Owen. Get home safe wherever you are at this present moment in time. So coach, when does your preseason start?
Pre-season?
Yeah.
Oh, early July for the youth.
Okay.
Because our season starts late. Our season starts into the second week of September.
Okay.
That's when our season starts. A bit later than other teams. Other teams start and leagues start in August. We start the second week of September. Okay. So we start pre-season like first week of July and get friendlies in. During August, we'll have friendlies and stuff like that.
And with your friendlies, are you kind of looking at teams around the same level, below, and literally what are you looking for with the new recruits and the players that were there last season?
Say that again. Sorry, I didn't hear that. Sorry, Tobrise.
So with your friendlies, are you kind of looking at teams around the same level, higher or above? And also, what are you looking for from the players coming back from preseason? Oh, sorry. So coming into preseason. Sorry.
What am I looking for?
Yeah.
Well, the friendlies will be teams what can compete with us, and we can compete with them. So it's going to be our level or above. Yeah. What we try to push. I'm looking for the players mainly to be, same again, focused all the way through the season, ready, keeping fit, keeping healthy, looking forward, accepting the plans we have in this so they can develop, and we can push them into a higher level of football, which they know that's our whole game is about development, not just winning or winning cups and trophies. It's more about development at that age and pushing them into a higher level. So it's all about them being focused and disciplined and wanting to learn more and more so they can go into that higher level of football. That's what we're really looking at this season again. And it'll be like that next season again, hopefully again with the players, pushing them up into semi-pro and professional clubs. We're trying to expand a little bit next year as well. We've got a gap because we've got from youth up to 16 and then we go straight into the vets, a massive gap. So I had a meeting today with some people. It's on the pipeline. We're trying to get 16 to 19. So when the players leave the club, they've got like an academy level we've got during ourselves where we're going to try and play semi-pro teams like that on the 23s, on the 18s, on the 23s. So the boys have got another level they can go to before we can still push them up into that professional level if they do seem to be good enough. So we're just filling a gap which you've had for years where we've let boys go at 16 and sometimes they get lost in the whole world of football and they get disillusioned. So we want to keep them playing till up to their 90 years old. And hopefully in between that 16 to 19 period, we can push them into a good semi-pro level or into a good professional level. So that's our target coming up for the next few years, to get that consolidated strong and focus on that as well. So it's just to keep expanding all the time. And as I keep saying, it's all about development, not just for the players, but for us as well as a club.
Yeah, that's class as well, because a lot of players at that age group, 16 to 19, are very difficult to find things independently as well. So it doesn't just come out of nowhere. And sometimes when they contact people individually, they don't really get responses. So I think it's really good that you're actively like providing that opportunity, actively playing, giving the players a chance to go play a team as well. It keeps them in the map, really.
Well, at least we're giving them some sort of guidance and they've got some sort of direction. Like they say, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. You're just lost in that wilderness going round and round. You go there. Because we've got a lot of players that just hop around and they don't stabilise in one club and build a career at that club. Because they don't know it takes time. They think I should be in the first team straight away, or I should be in the starting 11 straight away. So it's all about your focus and your discipline and your patience. And you've got to have a vision where you're going and a plan where you're going to. So we're going to help them develop that plan and that guidance where you're going and how it really works in football. It's not just, I'm a good player, so I'm going to be in the first team. It doesn't work like that. And a lot of players think like that because they're a good young player. They think, I should be playing. Why am I on the bench? Why am I not picked this week? So it's just put all those things into place.
You have to trust the process.
Yeah, you've got to trust. You've got to believe in yourself. The main thing is to believe in you. That man in the mirror, you've got to believe in you. You have to.
So Jose, in terms of trusting the process, I mean, do you like? Actually, I would love to give to actually get both of your opinions about either working on your weaknesses or focusing on your strengths. I mean, what's your opinion about that? If I like saying, and literally, I'll kind of start with Jose first.
That's an interesting debate. I've heard this debate from and I've heard it from other people as well, including Matt Sheldon, Become Elite. He's out in America, and he's had a video on this as well, which was really interesting to hear. A lot of professional footballers have different opinions on this. A lot of them just focus on their strengths non-stop, and then try to take it into football. But your strengths and your weaknesses can change from year to year. A couple of years ago, I would have said I was a really pacey player. You know, I still think I'm quick, but I've developed my weaknesses, and now they're starting to become strengths as well. So little things like the way I read the game, like differences on taking a first touch, you know, things that I've just learned throughout time. And it's not that I was particularly just focusing on my strengths and ignoring my weaknesses. I was kind of polishing a bit of everything. I think ultimately the basics is the most important. If you master the basics, I think that's what separates sometimes the amateur and the professional. It's just the basics are dominated to a level that, you know, because mistakes cost you, and if you polish those basics, you're not going to cost anything. So for me, it's finding that balance, and I like to do it all rounded, basically.
Cool. And Coach Barry?
Yeah, it all depends what your basics are. I think the biggest thing for me in football I see is game. It's best mastering game understanding. We can play at any age. The top players have got excellent game understanding, and they simplify the game. Which you get really good players and they can't simplify the game. Like you said, you might be a pacey player, skillful player, but as you get older, go to a higher level, you've got game understanding is key. It is key. If you don't understand the role of the game, how you can simplify the game, how you move the ball. You watch the top teams like Barcelona, Man City, those sort of teams. It's not hard. It's just everybody thinks it's easy just to ball retention, but skill is about the basics done under pressure with intensity. Can you still play basic football under pressure and with intensity? Can you still do that? Can you still play your one touch and your two touch football and still be comfortable and relaxed and still keep calm under pressure? We saw that yesterday, and we'll talk about that when we get to the who can handle pressure, who can handle intensity. And that's what makes a top player. And that's why people get it mixed up about what a baller is. I'm a baller. People get that very, very wrong. How can you handle pressure, intensity, and game understanding? How can you figure it out on your own when things are going wrong, going bad? Can you figure out how to change it? And that's what I think is really important. And a lot of that comes with discipline. To me, discipline, go out there, I'm going to do this each day, I'm going to do that and do that each time, and I stay disciplined and calm. So that's how I look at the game. Yeah. And we push that in a lot of the youngsters. We look for game understanding, not too much over coaching, and can players work it out during a game or a coaching session? Can they work things out on their own? It gives them assistance because they're young and they're still learning, but that is part of development, seeing how they work things out.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's one of the things I like to see is like the way we get different scenarios when we're training, and just observing how each person takes it in and how they deal with it, basically.
Yeah.
When I was coaching in their 11s as well, that's what I like to do. You know, like this, you know, they'd have a scenario, and then just let them play it out and just let them learn by playing how, you know, they can do things differently, because they'll see what works and what doesn't work. And that's how you pick up that understanding as well.
Yeah. And I think listening is the key as well, with all listening to what players have to say. We give all the players a voice, so we hear what they're saying, what they're understanding by when we relate back and forward. So you see what they see and what they understand and what's going on in the game, the way they see it. So there's lots of different bits to put together, and you sit down and you analyze all of it together. So the question is, everything you said, Tobrise, the both questions go together, because you need both in football. They're both to go. I don't think there's no debate or argument. You should be working on your strengths and your weaknesses all the time. because you got a full rounded game. That's what you want in the end. You want to be fully rounded.
Yeah, true. Guys, please like and subscribe. Please click, I don't normally ask people to kind of click that plus button. The plus button or the thumbs up. But I'd love you guys to actually do that. Of course, it kind of helps out the channel. And again, let me kind of go over a recap in terms of what is going on today. So at 9 o'clock, we'll be having the vet segment. It's going to be Santos versus Independent, the game that happened yesterday. But at this present moment, we have Liam Giles coming onto the show. I'm going to add him in right now. A manager of Croydon FC. Liam, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, not bad. Good evening, guys.
It looks like you're on holiday somewhere because wherever you are, it's.
No, I just come outside, mate. Don't make too much noise indoors. The young kids are sleeping, so I thought I'd step outside, mate. So I'm just chilling outside.
Cool. No, honestly, Liam, thank you for coming on. And yeah, let's go straight into it. So why did you decide to take up the managerial role at Croydon FC?
So at the time, I sort of stopped playing. I was 30, had my own business, a scaffolding business, so I was hands-on. And to be honest with you, with a young family, the risk of injury become more of an issue. I had a couple of lengthy ones, which meant I had to take time out of work. I still had to run, so I had to sort of step aside a little from that, and playing as effectively as I was. And then the Croydon job come up. So at the time, Harry Hudson, someone that I'd known for a long time, was one of the directors. We had a conversation, and they left me the reins for the last 12 games. So and that was it, mate. 101 games later, decided to step down, mate.
Okay. And Jose, I'd love to kind of get your question for Liam.
Hi, Liam. Thanks for coming on. My question relates to obviously the pandemic and the cancellation of games and season curtailing, null and voiding, everything that went on. Psychologically, how did you keep your players motivated throughout those times? What did you do? What did you say? Because it was a very difficult period for a lot of non-league footballers, considering stoppages and maintaining their fitness and all that. How did you keep everyone motivated to continue football?
It was very tough. Obviously, the first time round, none of us really knew what was going on. The season got stopped twice. So the first time round, obviously, it was all new. I think we'd played 26 games or 24 games. We weren't sure quite what was happening. We obviously got the WhatsApp group chat, which was quite lively, which myself and my management was in. People, I think at the time, we was allowed to exercise. People were doing runs and putting them into the group chat and being a little competitive, who's got the best 5Ks, 10Ks, etc. And I think as well, the lads arranged a FIFA tournament, and we just tried to keep as together as we could. Obviously, we couldn't get together, we couldn't train, so we just tried to stay as active as we could over the socials, and just try and just keep ticking over. Obviously, when we got back to come out of the lockdown, we could do small-sided stuff, no contact in small groups. So I was taking 6 at a time over to local. We had no venue. Our ground had closed due to COVID. It was a council-run ground, so we was going over local parks, which obviously hadn't been looked after, and just trying to do some work and just try and keep everything ticking over. And the biggest thing from that, I felt, was the mental health of people. So just being able to get back out doing something was great. So we did that. And then, eventually, obviously, the restrictions sort of eased. And, we got back to doing what we loved, for it all to stop again, which was really, really tough, especially for me and my management team, who put into the 2 curtailed seasons. It was very disheartening The fact that, you know, all the work we put in was for nothing as such. So, but yeah, you know, we just tried to keep everyone's spirits up and just, you know, stay busy and do what we could, really.
Cool. And Coach Barry would love to get your question.
Yeah, good evening, Liam.
Evening.
Again. I just find it really tough for managers like you and how you cope. What sort of budget did you have, and how the hell do you get players on the budgets you have at that non-league level and recruit players? Because that's an absolute nightmare for every manager I know in non-league. And that's your mental health gone already when you just look at the budget you got for the season.
Yeah, no, that's a good question, mate, because, you know, a lot of people hide the fact that they pay their players, especially at step 6.
Yeah.
You know, we tried to do a few things to make money. So obviously we got some sponsors in. When I first come into the club was in quite a bad state. So we managed to get some sponsors in, Semplas, who have worked miracles and have supported us, you know, massively. And you know, myself and management team, you know, for the first I think 2 seasons, we was putting in a little bit of our own in like a syndicate with a few fans just to try and raise some money. And the club gave us, you know, a little bit that was covering expenses, but you know, I was true to the players at the start when we built our project and, you know, what we wanted to do, you know, and explain to them we'll do what we can where we can. But there is going to be some players that are going to get a little bit more than others. Some are going to get nothing, because ultimately, you know, myself as a player, I never chased money. Played at step 6, played at step 5 and was successful. But, you know, I knew that my striker, for example, was getting 60, 70 quid. But, you know, that's, for me, I would rather that, because I knew that we had a striker that was putting the ball in the net. And, you know, I didn't need the 50, 60 quid. So I think it's tough because it's almost like a juggling act. You know, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. And, you know, it is tough because nowadays you're asking people, especially, you know, we're in the Kent League, traveling, you know, 2 hours to a game, you're getting there at 1:30, you're not leaving there till 6, getting home at 7:30, 8 o'clock. It's their whole day. Thankfully, we've had a good group of lads that have played, I feel, for me, that have had offers and have stayed. And then we've had the others that, you know, just couldn't refuse when they've been offered 100s, 150s, 200 quids a week. You know, we're never going to match that. Not, you know, and I don't feel that at step 6 you should be paying that sort of money, really. But unfortunately, I think that's just the way the game's gone, from the top, from the Premier League, the money and that, all the way down to, you know, the lowest.
But Liam, I mean, to get the best players, that's why they do it, isn't it? They're trying to get the best players to push their club up through the divisions, aren't they?
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. But it's just a shame, really, because I suppose it is what it is now. You know, it's just the nature of the beast, and it feels like in most cases the team that throws the most money about gets the success. I suppose you've only got to look at your Chelseas and Man Cities in the Premier League. You know, go back before they had the cash injections and the new owners. It shows what money can do, and you know, it's the same, but at a much smaller degree. But you know, it is tough. You know, I try and fight it daily to try and get players in, and you know, you're sort of bargaining. It's like being, you know, I feel like Del Boy. You're trying to get like deals, and you know what I mean. It's tough, but I suppose it's part of it. And I feel that myself. You know, I'm a businessman. Like I said, I've got my own business, and part of that, you know, I've always got to try and make deals and try and get things done. So, you know, I feel that's something that I'm quite good at. So, yeah.
Great answer.
Well yeah. And Liam, so you know, we've like known each other for about 4 years, and you're very straight talking. I've literally seen you in the dressing room, and and you know, you kind of openly said regarding your home ground, that was the reason why certain things didn't happen, didn't progress, and that's a very bold statement. Could you kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, for one, we started out obviously pre-season. All the pitches are nice. Getting the ball down, playing good football. I felt we was the best footballing side in the league. Obviously, our pitch has never been great, but at the start of the season, it wasn't too bad. Look, it's the same for both sides, but when 90% of the sides we play against in that division, it's literally one touch, bang, one touch, bang, and the sides are successful. The side who won the league, Stansfeld, credit to them, they're very good at what they do, but I don't think they put 5-6 passes together. But like I said, they're very effective at what they do. They've won the league. They had a great FA Vars run. So when we're trying to get it down and play, and players' confidence then takes a hit because of the bobble and the bounce, and then they sort of don't want to play. So then they get dragged into what, we're just going to go long, and that's not our strengths. So that, I feel that's part of the reason. Obviously the pitch, but as well, I feel with the arena, it's very open. It's a very big place, and we have a good fan base that come away from home when we've got supporters close to the pitch. That they're singing songs and they're the 12th man, and I feel that that's massive, because most places we go to, we almost double people's home attendances, and it's not massive. But there's probably 30, 40 that travel away from home, but you feel that, and I feel that being so far, you got the running track around Croydon Arena, as Tobrise. You're just so far away from the action. And yeah, I don't know. It just, I've tried putting my finger on it. We lost 4 on the bounce there before my last win there, which was my last home game, which I was obviously happy with. But we just couldn't get nothing going there, and I think we had like 4 shots on target in 4 games, which isn't us, So it's going to be a mystery. I don't know why, but they're the things which I believe have obviously been a big part of it.
Jose, would love to get your question or comment.
Yeah, I've got a question related to the bad periods of form. Mm-hmm. So when you hit a bad period of form, what crosses your mind? Do you focus on what you can do different tactically, or do you focus on what could change psychologically? How do you go about it? What is your process? Because the reason I'm asking this myself, we've hit the current bad period of form away. We've had a couple of away fixtures, and they've not gone well. It's an issue we had last season. It's an issue we're having currently as well, and it's something that we want to change as well. So I'd love to hear your opinion on what you can do in those periods of form, and even for players, what can players focus on?
I think everything you've said there's a bit of everything, really. I think what you try and do is you try and problem solve. So initially, when we hit our bad run of form, we actually had 11 players out injured. That's a starting lineup. We don't have a reserves or an under-18. So in that respect, I was trying to recruit new players, but again, with minimal budget, and then knowing that, some of our key players were out, would then come back. How am I then going to keep everybody happy? And to be honest, I try and keep good relations with players. So I don't want to bring someone in, sell them a dream of the project, which is always what I do. It's about the project, and then next thing, so-and-so comes back, and then, sorry, see you later, we can't no longer give you the money. That's one of the issues that I faced this year. So trying to get in new players, obviously changing the shape. We've tried many shapes this season. There was always a formation that we went to if we was behind in games, and it normally worked. So we tried that from the start. We tried doing extra bits on the training ground. Obviously, we only had the facility to train once a week. Pre-season, we trained 3 times a week, and it was intense, which shows why we started off so strong. We was top of the league, I think, for the first 2 months. And we was playing very good stuff pre-season, beating step 4 sides, step 5 sides. We looked the real deal, to be honest. So I think that in that respect, I'm then trying to work the players extra hard in training on a Wednesday night, and we only have one session to work on shape, fitness, patterns of play. It's really, which is something that, you know, if I had stayed at Croydon next season, would have been something I would have changed. We would have trained twice a week, because then at least we can dedicate one day to fitness and one day to obviously working on shape, patterns of play, set pieces, etc. So it was tough. And, you know, psychologically, tried everything. Tried the hairdryer, tried, you know, bigging players up. And, you know, I'm a great believer of not everybody will respond in the same way. Some people need, you know, a kick up the arse. Some people need to be arm around the shoulder. You know, and I believe that, you know, I'm a good man manager, one of my skills. So, yeah, I think with what you've said there, I think there's a bit of everything. I think, you know, you try and just do what you can to try and get out of a situation, ultimately.
Coach Barry, your question.
I know Croydon, and I feel it for you, Liam, because what I want to know is how do you get to keep motivating your players during the game? Because when I've been to Croydon, you're so far away from the actual game and the crowd is. What do you do to keep them motivated and keep them going? Because it's a very strange arena. It's so open, gets very windy, the ball's flaring all over. You're very far. It sounds like it's echoing all the time. So how do you keep them going and motivated when it's going bad? Because you're so far away from the crowd, your fans are so far away from the actual game. It's very difficult for managers.
Yeah, no, mate, that's a great topic, really, because, again, you know, I love Croydon. It's been a part of my life. I was 5 years of age playing and then becoming manager. But, yeah, I think that's a real issue, mate. You know, it's tough. When we go a goal behind there, we don't seem to have the same response. You know, I've seen it over Twitter this year, people, Croydon FC comeback kings. We've been 3-0 down, 20 minutes to go. We've drawn 3. We go behind half time quite a lot, and we come back and win the game away from home. I can't remember us actually doing that at the arena. It's, you know, and again, like you said, I can't actually put my finger on it. If I could, you know, I don't think our season would have ended right.
So, Liam, have you come out of your little box?
Well, sorry, mate.
Have you come out of the box?
I've
gone to the sideline.
Listen, mate. You know, it's you know, right, mate. I'm being told to get back in my box all the time. But yeah, you know, myself and my assistant John Gladwin, who's been, you know, Tobrise knows, he's been my right hand man from day one. He's also, you know, my best mate. So we literally are animated. We're heading every ball, kicking every ball on the touchline. And I do feel that, you know, there's got to be an accountability, really. So, you know, I can only do so much from my little, right. But, you know, the players have got to dig in, and regardless of the situation, the pitch, whatever it may be, you know, you've just got to stand up and dig in. And I feel that something I did say, you know, I don't want to stand here and knock my players, but I do believe if my players had even 70% of the desire that myself and John had, you know, we would have been a much better side for it. But I do feel that there's a change, and there is a culture change where players now would rather do other things. And I think another subject of Sunday League, players are playing on a Saturday, playing on a Sunday. You know, going back when I was 18, 19, Sunday League was a no-no. At step 5, step 6, we didn't play Sunday League because you didn't want to risk getting injured. The Saturdays was your be-all and end-all. I'm hearing players talk about they're playing X, Y, Z on a Sunday morning, you know, changing room on a Saturday. And I just feel that, you know, and a big part of the reason why I stepped down from Croydon is that I feel that I don't think I can work at step 6 no longer because of the mentality of the players. And again, there is an exception, mate. There's the Stansfelds, and who are a group of mates that have been together for a long time, gone through the leagues. You know, that's rare.
So, Liam, am I allowed to ask? Are you going to a higher level now? Am I allowed to ask that question? You don't have to answer it.
Mate, I'll ask what you like. If I don't like, no, you know, it's no secret, mate. I've done an interview with Inside Croydon, and gave them the same answer, mate. I want to move. I want to progress in my career, and obviously go up through the leagues. So yeah, I'm looking at a step 5 job. In an ideal world, I'd like to go higher, but step 5, I'll take, and hopefully, I do believe there is a difference, especially mentality as well. So yeah, hopefully, mate, something comes up.
And the other part of my question, like I'm talking about the ground, was your results better? Did you have better results away from home than at home because of the ground?
Yeah, no, we was better away from home.
Okay.
I haven't got the stats in front of me now, but I think I'm pretty sure we lost more games at home than we did away.
Okay.
And I'm a great believer of you make your home ground a fortress. You don't let someone come in your house and nick your wallet. Do you know what I mean? You don't let someone come to your pitch and take the points. That's something that I'm a great believer of. So I wanted to make the arena a fortress, but we lost. Just to make, we lost to Forest Hill Park, who are second from bottom in the league. We lost to Lyd Town, who are in the bottom, I think, in the bottom 6 at home. We drew with Chesington and Hook, who finished bottom at home. Games that I look at, we finished 7 points out of the playoffs. They're must wins. You're ticking them off. Do you know what I mean? They're must win games. So we win games. We're in the playoffs, and that's something that's really, we beat all them sides away from home. So the home ground was a big issue.
Yeah.
How many points were you away from playoffs?
7.
So those home games could have been quite crucial then, the draws.
Yeah.
So just to fill you in, so we never won a game from November to January in the league till up to early Jan. We played a side called Larkfield and New Hive, who were favourites to win the league this year. They finished 3rd. Massive resources, crazy money for the level. And we went there and we won 2-1. And we had Bryden Ropes away on the Wednesday, who were in the playoffs as well. And then we went to Bryden Ropes and we won 1-0. And then we came to the arena against Snodland, who are in the playoffs, and we won 2-0. And then we went on a run. But I think in that run, we only played 1 home game. And we went 7 unbeaten, 6 wins, 1 draw. And then I felt like coming from our bad form, started getting injured, our injured players back. I really felt that was the turn of our season. And then we lost at home, the same sides I'm talking about, Bryden Ropes. We had to beat them and we would have been 2 points behind them going into the last 5 games of the season. We lost 5-0. The biggest defeat in my managerial career against a side that I'd have expected us to beat. And we lost 3-0 home to Sutton Athletic. We lost 1-0 at home to Lewisham Borough, 1-0 at home against Thamesmead. We shouldn't. Sutton Athletic, potentially, they finished 2nd and they're a good side. But other than that, you shouldn't be losing them games, especially at home. So, yeah, we weren't far away, but them games there, in my opinion, we shouldn't have lost and we shouldn't lose. So you only got to do the maths. We would have been comfortable in the playoffs.
I spoke to one of your fans, but actually stopped paying for his Tottenham ticket. Oh, so his Tottenham season ticket to actually come every single week to actually watch Croydon FC. Could you talk about that individual?
Yeah, he's a guy called Lee. Actually, he decided that he had enough of VAR, and he actually said he went to the Champions League final and was being told to sit down in his seat, which he said, he'd paid all that money to travel. I don't know where it was. Obviously, it was abroad somewhere, but he came down. He's a local guy, lives in South Croydon, and I think he's missed 1 game all season. He just came in and he just loved it. He got the bug, and as anybody knows, as you've seen yourself, Tobrise, part of the project for me and John was to make that connection between management, players, supporters, committee, make it a family club, make the bar feel welcome for people to stay in and have a drink, the players to talk to the supporters, and that was something that he couldn't believe. He's like, when we put on our coach trips away, he's traveling on the coach with the players. On the way back, we're having a drink together, got the music on, back to the club, you know, and it's stuff that you wouldn't get, you know, it's a different league, isn't it? You're talking about, you're not going to be doing it at Harry Kane, are you? Do you know what I mean? After a game. So, you know, he just bought into it and loves it, mate. And, you know, them sort of people are crucial to non-league football.
Coach Barry, let's get your question.
How is he? Where's Liam gone? Yeah, have a drink, Liam. Have a drink. Have one for me too, mate. All right, Liam, moving up, moving up to the higher level you want to go. What are the elements you want in the club? What you think you could make successful? What do you need? What's the ingredients you think you need in the club to make that club successful the way you want to run it? Like you're disappointed you ain't got the training and the one that we training. You're too far away from the pitch. So what are you looking for in the club? Like good chairman, this and that, good budget. What do you think you'd need to make a club successful?
I think it all depends.
And you've got to be a good manager, remember that.
and right now, you know, I didn't get the job that I wanted to, so that's questionable. But yeah. To be perfectly honest with you, I think that a relationship with the chairman. So someone always said to me, "Pick your chairman, don't pick your club."
Yeah.
And before I go any further on that, talking about a potential new club, I'd like to say I worked 18 months without a chairman at Croydon. There was no chairman, so
no chairman.
No chairman. So I took up many roles and done things that I shouldn't have done. But obviously I've done it because, you know, I'm one of them people. I want things done and I want things done right. You know.
You sure you don't want to be a chairman, Liam?
Nah, mate. Nah. Not mate. You know, but no. So on that note, the last 6 months, a chairman was appointed, a guy called Gavin English, and you know, it's always difficult when someone new comes in, and you know, I had the reins at Croydon. You know, pretty much done what I liked. And was just left to my own accord to run the football side of things how I seemed fit. And, you know, he came in and, mate, he's been unbelievable, so supportive. You know, I went to him and said, look, we're in trouble. We're falling away from the playoffs. I need a bit more support. I need a little bit more money because my top players are out injured. You know, I got a forward, Richard Pingling. The guy should be playing at step 3 comfortably. Step 4, you know, he was out injured. I'm not going to replace him. He was getting 40 quid. You know, he's getting offered 200 quids. I'm not going to replace someone like him at step 6 without serious money.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I went to them and just said, look, I need a little bit more. I knew I was never going to get the Richard Pinglings in, but I knew that with a little bit more, I could get someone in that could do a job. And, you know, he supported us with that. You know, he said to me, stop beating yourself up. You know, you're here to stay. We fully trust you to take the club forward, which then becomes a harder decision for me to actually step away because I had so much support from them. So definitely the chairman, like I say, full credit to Gavin. He's been unreal. And whoever goes in at Croydon, I can tell them straight up, you know, the chairman's good as gold and, you know, he's a diamond. So, yeah, I think picking your chairman, you know, for me, as much as I want to get into another club, I won't be rushing into nothing. You know, it's about sitting down, having them conversations, and do people share the same vision? I think that a budget is a necessity, especially at step 5. You need a healthy budget. When you look at the Sceffel League this year, you had Sheppey won it, Chatham come second, Glebe come third. You know, every one of them sides had at least 1,500 quid a week. You know, that's, you know, you can't compete with that unless you're rubbing shoulders. You know, I feel that for me at step 5, £1,000 would be 8 to 1,000. You know, you could be competitive, and it's just about getting the right people in. But yeah, I think as well, like you said about the ground, I will never, unless it's Croydon FC, because the door, you know, I'll never close the door on the club because it means a lot to me. And may return there one day. But I will never manage at another club that has a running track around the pitch.
You've heard it first, guys. You've heard it first.
Yeah.
Jose would love to get your question or comment. So
I want to ask, from your experiences as a player, do you think that's something that's contributed to you, say, for your man management skills as well? You said that it was one of your strengths. So I'd love to hear about your experiences as a player and how that's influenced you as a coach.
Yeah, no. For me, I've not long stopped playing. Saying that, I actually made a cameo on Saturday and did the last 25. We were struggling for numbers, so it was quite fitting that I can still actually play. So I still played. But yeah, so I've had experiences with man where I've been dropped out of the side, and I've heard the team being called out during sitting in the dressing room. The team's been named, or I've walked in, the team's on the ball with no explanation. So for me, something that I always do, if a player's been playing regularly and I regard them as a key player of the squad, even more so, they will be getting told before they walk in that changing room that they're not starting. And I think that's a massive thing, because you know how it goes in changing rooms. Someone gets upset and starts sulking. You walk out, you leave the room, they'll all be talking about it. It just brings the whole mood and the vibe down in a changing room. And I've experienced that, and even with players that I have told, you still see it. So I try and be as open, as honest as I can with players. I think that is something that, you might get one or two that may disagree with what I'm saying. And I could tell you exactly them players. I could give you their names, but I won't. But the majority of the players that have played for me, I think they'll always say that I've always been open and honest, and been fair. And I've had a recent young player join the club. Again, I won't name names, but he was having a bad game. I had to pull him off very early in the game, but I still pulled him aside and said, "Listen, this is why. This is what you need to do." He's 18 years of age. He's got a long time left in the game, and I'm sure he'll go on to play a lot higher than step 6. He's a baby still, but I still had to keep talking to him and explaining to him my decisions, just so that his head didn't go. And because it's you're looking after a lot of men, and my assistant said it last week on Trams TV. You're looking after a lot of young men and their mental states, and it's all about talking. And I feel that if you can build that relationship with a player, obviously you don't want it too close, because ultimately there's a line between being too pally with players. But I do feel that you just need to be honest, and ultimately the player would rather that than you string them along. And players talk, so you then get a reputation of being someone that takes liberties and lies to people. So I think that for me is probably the biggest thing I've took from being a player into management.
And you spoke about Trams TV. Again, could you kind of elaborate what Trams TV is all about?
Yeah, so Trams TV was something that when we joined the club, there was a guy, Paul Davis, well, there still is a guy, Paul Davis, that used to take photos and stuff of the games, and he has a Flickr account. And me and John looked at it and said, you know what, we need to try and get some more exposure for the club. What can we do to bring more bums on seats to get the club some more money? What can we do to raise the profile? Obviously, I spoke with you as well, Tobrise, didn't I, about this? Yeah. And we spoke about yourself coming in. Obviously, with your schedule and stuff, it just wasn't the right time. So we spoke with Paul about we start doing interviews of games, and Paul had one GoPro at the time. They said, I've got an old GoPro, I'll try it out. Started doing films on his phone and stuff, and it went from that to now a YouTube channel, Trams TV, that has highlights, interviews. We have supporters on there doing interviews, management, players, and it's something that I know every team we play on Saturday, for example, someone shouted, "Stick that on your YouTube channel" when they scored. Do you know what I mean? And ultimately, it's done its job, because people are talking about it, right? And it's raised the profile of the club. And Paul Davis, Sunil, Liam from Semplas, Liam Blenko, these guys doing the interviews and stuff, and we've worked together along with me and John, trying to put out content and just trying to raise the image of the club, which I think has been great. And hats off to Paul, because he spends hours on end editing the footage. He's got the 2 GoPros. He's got the video camera, 2 video cameras. One, his wife actually comes along and does some filming. Well, doesn't do some. She films as well every week. So yeah, that's Trams TV, mate, and it's been great, and it's something that I'm proud that we've set up together. And and it's brought some great memories, some great outtakes.
Yeah, amazing. So guys, please go out and go onto YouTube and just type in Trams TV Croydon FC and subscribe to the channel. Coach, back to you.
It's me again, Liam.
Not you again.
All right, Liam. I know that most step 6 and that's that you don't really have a scouting system.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's down to you to pick the players and your assistant, obviously. So I want to know from you, because all managers speak to and coaches have different ideas what they look for in a player. When you go out and looking for a player, what do you look for before you get that player and side him up to your club? What are you looking for? What are the bits you want to see in that player?
I think with that, mate, that actually changed initially from when I first stepped into management, because I was actually working at Holmesdale with an under-18s with a close friend of mine, 2 close friends of mine, Tommy and Peter Kavanagh. And, the way I wanted to play and the way I wanted to take our ethos of, keeping the ball high intensity press when we lose it. So I was looking for people that were comfortable in possession, people that could carry the ball. I didn't want them just to be 2 donkeys at head and kick. I wanted to play out for the goalkeeper. Our goalkeeper had to have good feet. So that was initially the way I wanted to go, and it is still the way it's the way I believe it should be played. But at step 6, with these pitches, and you're coming up against sides that make it so difficult, they're just big, strong. This Kent League is, you're coming up against big physical players. They may not have great feet, but they're hitting big challenges, headers, and literally, like I say, touch, turn. So this year it changed a little, and I thought, what, we need to be a bit more direct. When I say a bit more direct, there's a confusion. It's not just go long, but it's get the ball directly out wide. We had a front man that was big, strong, that held it up. Can we get it into his feet? Back into the midfielder, out wide again. So this year we looked for a lot more physicality. I looked for pace out wide. I believe pace in the game is something that frightens people alone. I know myself, I was never the quickest player, but if I had someone that could get in behind me and was quick, and I knew I had to kick them early to try and get them to move the ball rather than put it past me. So we looked at that, and again, we still tried to look for players that were comfortable on the ball, and I will always do that, because I'm not going to just go away from my morals and the way I want to play. But we did look for, like I say, this year, more experienced players. I feel that, the old saying goes, you can't win nothing with kids. And at this level, I think that is true. Maybe in the Prem and in professional football, it may be different. But, we found out when we lost a lot more senior characters this year, again, losing behind in games, we didn't respond as well. So we look for a lot more experienced players. And again, I go out and watch games quite regularly. I go and watch our opposition. I'm a great believer of, I need to know their strengths and weaknesses, so that I've got many ways we can play. I've got players with different, not all of my players have got the same strengths. So if we're playing a side that want to play out, and, we'll go with a higher press, and I'll play players that are a bit more mobile. If I'm playing against a side that are going to pump it long and just going to be in for the physical battle, I'll match up to that and know that later on in the game, I'll then bring on my, more mobile and more flary players as such. So it's quite tough, because, like I say, there's not one thing that you look for, as you know, Barry. There's many things that, for me, there's one thing that I feel that I wish I could coach, because it's probably my strongest point, and that's heart and desire. But you can't put that into a player. They've either got...
Oh, you're frozen.
They need to have that in them. So I do try and look for that in a player, because I feel that that's huge. But as you know,
but the main thing is that all the players complement each other, isn't it?
100%.
You're going to get all different shapes and sizes and speed and athletic, but all the players complement each other. That's what we do look for as coaches and managers.
A million. There's one.
Sorry.
Oh, it's making all those characters and personalities one as a team as well. It can be easy.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, we had a issue this year. I brought in a centre forward that I trusted, and I still did trust until the day he left. But other players didn't like. You know, he wasn't scoring many goals, but he done his job. He held the ball. He roughed defenders up, and 60, 70 minutes for me, he'd done his job. And I bring on a 18-year-old who was bagging goals for fun off the bench. It was a different, and ultimately, it, like you say, it's trying to make the puzzle fit. So that centre forward was complementing other players' games without other players realising. So they might, oh, he's shit, he's not scoring, but no, like, he is doing his job. He's doing what I'm asking of him. And it was a shame that he decided to leave because he was a massive part of what we did. But I had another issue with a centre midfielder. He was my best midfielder, but we had a lot of disagreements, and I felt that he was a winner and he was passionate, but sometimes he overstepped the line with some of the things that he said and the way he carried his message across. So we had to let him go. And with that, we lost probably our best ball playing midfielder, but then it brought out the best in my wide man, who then started scoring goals for fun, because I felt that he wasn't performing as well with that character in the team. So, nothing against that guy, great player and a great lad, but ultimately it wasn't right for us at that time. So you have to sometimes let your best players go to allow others to flourish.
Jose, back to you.
So I've got actually a question about training schedules in semi-pro clubs, and especially with Croydon as well, because I noticed that you mentioned one session a week. Am I right?
Yeah. During the season, until September, until we lost the light, it was 3 times a week. Sorry, 2 times a week and a game. And then once, obviously, we had the dark nights, it went to 1 training session a week, 1 game a week, if not 2, if we had a midweek game.
So this is something that was actually new to me, because I would have expected semi-pro clubs to be training more often. And I noticed that in the UK, and this is maybe something appropriate for everyone to pitch in, because it's something that was interesting to me. In Portugal, amateur clubs train 3 to 4 times a week, and that's players that aren't getting paid. I've noticed in a lot of semi-pro clubs that they're training once a week, sometimes twice a week. Why is it that this is the case in the United Kingdom, where players are getting, as you said, some 100 and something pounds a week, but then they're only training once a week? Is it related to like match fixtures? Is it related to just their availabilities? What do you think this is?
So there's a couple of things there. You said about a player getting £100 a week. The training facilities for most clubs, Croydon don't own their ground. It's a council-owned ground, so we have to pay, I think it's like £250 or something around that per game to play at our home ground. That being said, there's no training facility there for us, so we have to then go and find a floodlit pitch or a 3G pitch, which we do at a school in Croydon, Archbishop Lanfranc. Cost, I think it's 90 quid or something around that, 100 quid per session. So it's about trying to keep the budgets down and the expenses down. Again, like I said, we don't have a lot of money as a club, and ultimately I had to make a choice whether that money went into the player's budget to train an extra day, or whether we trained an extra day. And the other thing is that during the season at most clubs that I've been at, I played 5 or 6 for 16 years. And a lot of the time, you would have 2 training sessions. When I was at Hawley Town, sometimes you only have 8 people turn up on the Tuesday. They know that they turn up on Tuesday, they're going to work. Thursday, you're not, any manager or coach isn't going to run a player into the ground with a game 2 days later. So they know they turn up on Thursday, you'll do your set pieces, your bit of pattern of play, and it's an easy session. So I think, I looked at that and felt I'm going to get us super fit pre-season, which we were. We were ridiculously fit. And like I say, even friendly or not, we were beat step 4 and 5 sides. And, we rumped 1 step 5 side with ease. And then, I felt that we could just tick over, trust players to do their own stuff away from us. And then on a Wednesday night, we'd get there half an hour early from our time, do half hours running on the grass. And then we had an hour and a half to actually work on shape and pattern of play, etc., etc. So a lot of that, I think, comes down to money. A lot of clubs, I think, again, going back to an earlier question about what would I look for, a club that's got its own facility where we can train, because then you're training twice a week. And regardless, if you're turning up 8 people on Tuesday and you are getting any sort of expenses, you won't be getting the money you think you're getting. You'll be getting fined. And ultimately, it just comes down to being disciplined in that respect. But it is tough because, players are playing, they've got businesses or they've got work, and for them to take that commitment out, if your best players can't train twice a week, they can only train once. And then you've got players that can train twice a week and they're not as good as, your key players. They'll be then asking questions. Why I'm training twice a week. He turns up, trains on a Thursday or a Tuesday, misses one and plays every week. And then you get that unrest. So for me, I thought, we'll make it one day. There's no excuses. We had great numbers, no less than 16. Sometimes we had 25, when we had players coming back, players that want to come, younger players, etc. So we never struggled with numbers at training, but I don't think we would have got that if we would train twice a week.
No, fair enough. And the last question before we have to end this segment, and again, Liam, thank you so much for coming on, is if there's any coaches or managers looking to apply for the Croydon job, I mean, what's the one thing that you would say to them? And also, could you kind of give the people out there any kind of social media handles for Croydon FC?
Yeah, so I think anyone that goes in there, they've got an honest board of directors there that want the best for the club. They've already started doing stuff at the club, like renovation clubhouse, etc., etc. I know Gavin will do his best to make sure that pitch is, he's a football man. He will want that pitch to be beautiful come start next season, and I'm sure he'll be putting pressure on the powers that be to make sure that's done. I think that for me, I think that it's a job for an up and coming manager for where the club's at right now. But hopefully the club do get the right person in that can take the club forward. And like I say, they'll have no issues with the people there. They're Croydon people, and they want what's best for the club. So yeah, that's all about that really. There is one thing I do want to say. At a time when we were struggling for players this year, there's a guy that works. The one guy I think that probably works harder than me in non-league. A guy called Lee Flavin. He's got a company, non-league Chance, and what he done is he helped me get some players in on dual reg from other clubs, and he was always sending me players. Do you need a forward? Do you need this? And I only met him this year, and what he does, he helps players get into the leagues and helps players constantly, not for no money, just for him loving the game and wanting to see people progress. So he's somebody that ultimately someone like him would be perfect for Croydon. But yeah, I know he wouldn't be interested in a job. He's somewhere else. But I just wanted to say, on that note, he's been a massive help for me when we were going through a bad patch this year. So I just wanted to give him a shout out on the channel, mate.
Yeah, and any social media handles or details that people should
know?
Yeah.
So obviously you've got Croydon FC's Trams TV over on YouTube, which is always worth a watch. But make sure you subscribe, get them subscribers up. The Croydon Twitter page, I think that Croydon FC, but I'm sure if you just type in Croydon FC, you'll find them. They've got over 8,000 followers, very well followed club. And the Instagram as well, Croydon FC, Croydon FC Instagram as well. So just type it in the search bar and I'm sure you'll find them.
Thank you so much, Liam, for coming on. And again, thank you for allowing me to kind of get into the changing room to interview yourself and John, and kind of letting me be part of your journey. So and again, this is not a goodbye. This is I see you later.
100%. I say thank you so much, mate, for your support, coming in and giving us the exposure. Big up yourself, mate, and your channel, and I just want to keep seeing you shine, mate, as well. And thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
Oh, great, Liam. Nice meeting you, Liam, man.
Cheers, guys. All the best and good luck for your
All the
season.
best. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
All
Thank
the
you.
best.
Thank you.
Cheers,
All
Thanks.
the best.
Cheers.
Alrighty, that was Liam Giles from Croydon FC. Jose, thank you for coming on. I know again you are 2 hours ahead, so you kind of go and kind of get your sleep. We have the very interesting segment coming. Let me kind of put this logo here: Santos versus Independent, a game that happened yesterday. I've got people waiting in the wings, looking to come on. But before that, we're going to take a quick 2 minutes.
Jose, see you later then, Jose, if you're going.
Thank you for having me once again.
Take care, Jose.
We will see you guys in 2 minutes. Alrighty, welcome back to the show. Please like and subscribe. We have now gone to the vet segment. And again, let me just thank Liam and Jose for coming on. So at this present moment in time, let me take that one off. So yeah, we kind of have the vet segment. Before I kind of go into what we're going to be talking about, let me kind of go over the results from yesterday. So in Division 1, Stansfield beat Metro Gas 5-3, and Charcoal versus Sporting Kits in the London Vex Cup semi-final. Charcoal beat Sporting Kits on penalties. So Charcoal are now in the final of the Vex Cup. And this is how the table looks like at this present moment in time. Charcoal first, Glebe second, LSU A third, Stansfield fourth, Johnson and Phillips fifth, New Park sixth, Metro Gas seventh, Defiance eighth. And the fixtures for next week: Glebe versus Metro Gas, LSU A versus Stansfield, and Seagas are playing Charcoal in one of the cups. So let's go to Division 2. Catford, a walkover over Bow Street. Seagas beat Cray 3-1, and Sporting Santos beat Independent. Seagas beat Cray 3-1, and Sporting Santos beat Independent 4-1. And this is how the table looks. Santos are champions of Division 2. Independent second, Cray third, Catford fourth, Wallenham fifth, Seagas sixth, LSU B seventh, Bow Street eighth, Leon Stars ninth, Leon and Norwood Lakers 10th. And the games happening next week: Bow Street versus Catford and Seagas versus Charcoal. Alrighty, so let's kind of go straight into this. Let me black up, and yeah, cool. And again, guys, thank you guys for coming on. Leon, thank you for coming on to the show. We have Nana as well from the Catford.
Boss.
We have Black Cop from Independent, and we have Asher from Sporting Santos. Good evening, gents. How is everyone doing?
Evening, guys. Really well.
Good.
Cool. All right.
Good
Well,
evening.
let's go into it. Let me just say again, congratulations to Sporting Santos, Division 2 champions, going in up as champions, and again, well done to Independent, also being promoted as Trey lost. So Sporting Santos and Independent are going up into Division.
Looks like his wife is monitoring the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, I don't know what you heard, but literally, I was talking anyway. But hey, let's kind of go to Asher first. Actually, Asher, well done. I would love to get your analysis of yesterday's game.
Evening all. I think, like I've said previously, my kind of view on the game, actually playing in it, will probably be a lot different to those who were watching it from the sideline. So you'll probably get two bits of different contrast there. I think that Independent started kind of well on the front foot. I think they had a couple of like half chances to be able to take the lead. And then I think after kind of the incidents for the first goals or whatever to make it, 1-1, at that stage there, the game started to progress and heat up and get a bit more. And I just think that from that moment on, we become more dominant and had our heads in the game and created a good amount of chances in the first half. Only managed to score kind of one of those chances and went in 2-1, I believe, at the break. And then the second half, we knew that Independent will come out and play and try to turn the screws and try to get back into the game. I don't know, it just felt like we wanted it more and we fought for it more. Felt like we were stronger and fitter at that moment in time. And, like, they become unstuck a little bit out of ideas. I mean, they did lose a key player in Dash as well, but of course that's just one player and they got a big squad anyway. But I don't really record them creating too much. But like I said, that's me in the game and my view. So others might be a little bit different.
Okay.
And
cool.
yeah, the guys were quite clinical.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Could have been more clinical, but yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll be discussing some major talking points. Black Klopp, I love to get the Independent POV.
First of all, congratulations, Santos. Totally deserved it. Totally bossed the game. Their game plan was different. I didn't see that at all, I have to say. From the first game and the games that we played them, I didn't see that they were much stronger and fierce in the tackle, where I know them as of course they've got that side to them, but I know them as a ball playing side. But they knocked us off our game, completely knocked us off our game. Guys weren't in it, weren't up for it. That's the thing that disappointed me after the game in the changing room, that we didn't really go out on our shield. I was expecting a bigger challenge in the second half after we came back and we tried to reset, and that didn't happen, which is all down to Santos again. So really nothing I can say. They deserved it from minute 1 to minute 93 or 94. They deserved it. They hunted us down throughout the season. Every week I looked on their results and I speak to their players after the game. They looked on our results. It was always down to us two. Both had blips in the season, and it came down to this mammoth game, and they were up for it and we weren't. There's just things me and Ray and the squad have to learn from, really. But when I woke up this morning, no, not even when I woke up this morning, when I went home last night, sort of settled, wasn't that disappointed. To think that all the players that have played in our teams from the 5th division every season getting promoted to get to the 1st division. And to be honest, Barry rang me this morning and sort of refocused my mind. And Nana, after the game, said exactly the same thing. Yeah, you weren't champions, and that Santos deserved to be champions, but you've got what you wanted, which was to get to the 1st division. So, you learn from these games. There's a few games in the season that we've got to learn from. Yesterday's game is definitely one of those games that we have to learn from, and we go again. We got to the promised land, which we wanted, and we go again. But much respect to Santos, deserved it 100%.
Leon has just disappeared. I was just going to go to Leon. Let me going to go to Nana. Nana, what did you think of the game yesterday?
Good evening, all. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my laptop has just decided to restart itself, so I'm using my mobile phone. Congratulations, Santos. Commiserations to Independent. Starting with the Independent, this was your Independence goal from the beginning. So, yes, you've reached it. I'm sure you would have loved to win it to get there. But, from a brutally honest point of view, the game I saw yesterday, there was always going to be one winner. And again, I'm being brutally honest here.
Stop putting these things on Tobrise, please. He's chatting shit. Just stop putting these things and let's just talk with the panel, please.
Listen.
Wait. Okay. Sorry, I didn't know what's going on. But anyway,
man's chatting shit.
It was what I saw yesterday. For me, again, being brutally honest, it was a game I felt was boys versus men. Santos won the first ball, the second ball, and sometimes the third ball.
Mm.
They look fitter, they look stronger. It looks like there was only going to be one winner. Leon, for me, was their best player. That's just me.
Well, he played well.
He was very physical. He didn't give Nino a wimp. He was very physical. He was hands-on all the time. And most of the Santos players were like that as well.
Mm.
And I expected a bit more fight from Independent to make a very, very competitive game, because all the build up to now, Independent having 15 points at one time over Santos crawling back slowly. This was the pinnacle. This was meant to be the blockbuster.
Mm.
Independent just didn't turn up.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, they just didn't turn up, because I know Independent can play ball. But if I'm even being harsh, I would say Santos schooled them from minute 5. Independent came out of the blocks, pressing high, a lot of energy. After 5 minutes, everything went tits up, and especially when Dash went off the pitch, it looked like they lacked ideas. Nino couldn't get his stride on, again, because Leon handled him very, very well. And when Dash went off the pitch, I thought that was it, because I don't remember Independent putting 5 passes together, and I stand to be corrected.
Mm.
And this is not the Independent that I know. So when push comes to shove, I think all the boys there, they would know that they've let themselves down.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's the aim was to get into the Division 1, as they said in the show time and time again. So they've gotten where they want to be.
Mm.
I'm sure they will recruit and tinker and bring that fight back, bring that desire, bring that hunger back. Because Division 1 is a whole different kettle fish. It's a whole different ball game. So it's going to be even more difficult. You're going to have games like this week in, week out. So congrats to Santos. Ashley, well played yesterday. Yeah, you had a really good game, especially, your assist for the goal. And Leon again, solid. And well done to Independent. You are in Division 1, so you achieved your own.
Leon, let me kind of come to you. I kind of said in one of my shows, I said don't give Leon any opportunities with his left foot, and I said that he was a better left back than a left winger, and you proved it yesterday. I mean, how was the game for you? Playing from start to finish.
I agree with what you can hear my voice. My voice is gone from yesterday. But I agree with both. I agree with Paul and I agree with Nana. I think from start to finish, we were the better team from start to finish. We wanted it more. We was first to every ball, second ball, first ball, and I just think we was way more aggressive. We was way more aggressive than them. I think throughout the whole pitch, we was on top of everything. And to be honest, it could have been more. To be honest with you, it probably could have been. It probably should have been more, but I just think we wanted it more yesterday. And I was quite surprised that the game went like that in the first place. I thought it would have been a lot more competitive than it was.
Yeah. Okay, Coach Barry would love to get your analysis.
Your mic, Barry.
Coach, you're on mute.
Sorry. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, gentlemen. Ash, you can smile now, Ash. Yeah, I agree, Leon. Good to meet you, Leon. I saw you play yesterday for the first time. Good game. You had an excellent game. I think the biggest difference I saw out there, I know Wesley and people like that from years ago. I just thought Santos had unity. The way I saw them, the oneness and togetherness, they had a great unity and a great spirit about them. And that transformed onto the pitch as well. I think we lost it in every department. Gary was telling me before the game, showing off the impressives on the pitch. But I only saw Gary make one save. I think they marshaled our forwards quite comfortable. I thought it was a comfortable win for Santos, to be honest. A very comfortable win. I don't know how our spirit's gone, because we look like we lacked a lot in every department. It's not just about dash. I thought we had no one really threatening Santos throughout the game. That's why they were so comfortable. And that's why they're smiling today, because I think they can't believe they had such an easy 4-1, well, really 3-0 victory, really. I think they can't believe it. I can't just condemn my side, because we're so happy that we've got promotion, because that was our aim at the start of the season. But I've got to give my hats off and applaud Santos once again, because they've come and all they've done is focus on winning this division, and that's what they've done. When I thought they were dead, there's twice I thought Santos was dead, and they've come back, and they've won. I could just see that unity and strength with the team. No arguing, encouraging each other, and that's how you win games. And the sad thing, I think, from Independent, we did not compete. And I think that's what surprised everyone today to watch. You can't win games and you don't compete, no matter how good you are. But well done again. Their game plan was good. I saw some of the stuff they're doing. You're a bit nasty, you Santos boys, but don't think it's over. Don't think it's over. So once again, Leon, Ash, everyone, Wesley, Gary, you told me you're going to do 2 great saves. You've done 1. I've mentioned you now, so leave me alone now, Gary. But well done, Santos. From my heart, true respect to all of you guys to come from so far. Consistency, love the club, great play. Hats off to you. And once again, well done to Klopp, well done to Raymond, because you've done a great achievement from, like you said, Division 5. Nana, you're included. And I think, Nana, I know people might not say, I think you was missed. And also, we've had problems with Nelson. I think Nelson was mixed. I know there's a lot of things going on. I don't know everything what went on, but those 2 characters was missed from our club as well. So I don't want to say they've done nothing. They've done great stuff at Independent as well. And we mustn't forget they were part of the journey as well.
Yeah.
But last thing again, well done, Ash. You proved me wrong, but we'll be back.
No, I mean, I don't doubt that one bit. I don't doubt that one bit. It was just one of them games, and like I think everyone could feel and see that we wanted it more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once we realised that we wasn't getting
Yeah.
anything back, we just grew and grew in confidence and continued to do what we set out to do.
Yeah. No,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was an eye opener. And actually, let me just kind of say that again. Like the people in the comments, thank you. Thank you for kind of coming in. Everyone has the right to say whatever they have to say. Again, I just want to say a lot of people wanted to come onto the show. Like I said, no, but again, this is like a show for everyone. So again, whoever has to say whatever they want to say in the comments, that's absolutely fine. That's kind of literally, absolutely fine. It's literally free for everyone to say whatever they have to say. Let's kind of go to Leon. Leon, something that I noticed, especially in the Catford game, is I think when you guys were four goals up, you was the one that was geeing them up to actually get more and more. I mean, is that the kind of normal mentality that you guys have in the changing room, and literally who kind of starts off that, that kind of aggression and that kind of passionate style of play?
Yeah, of course. That's what we do, man. We've scored a lot of goals this season. We've hit 10, 9s, 11s. We've hit a lot of goals. We don't let up. And that's as a group. We do that as a group. We're all I can't remember what his name is. Sorry, but I can't see it. As he said, the unity in our squad is wicked. Like we've known each other for years. Like we're all brothers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We've gone from secondary school, primary school. Some of us, like, we've all known each other in that training for a lot of years. So I think it shows as well on the pitch, and you can tell that we're not just a football team where we go out together. We was out last night together. We do everything together. You know what I mean? So I think it shows and it helps, and it definitely comes across like that on the pitch as well. And I think that's what it was yesterday as well. If you're winning 4-0, 5-0, you just keep going, man. You don't let teams up, man. You keep going. You just got to bury teams, man. And I think we got to keep that mentality into next season as well. Obviously, it's going to be a lot more difficult, but I think we'll be fine. I still think we'll be fine next season. I think we'll be very competitive, and I just think it's there for the taking, man. Who's to say we can't go on and win that? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely, man. That's how we are as a team. Our mentalities, everyone's on the same wavelength in our team. We're all friends, we're all family, and that's I think it shows. I think it shows on the pitch.
I've got a question from Nick, and I think Nick's from Trey Wanderers. Leon and Ash, what was the toughest Santos game this season that you guys have played?
It's probably the Warningham game. When we was playing in the Storm, and we lost. They battered us in that game. Like, they were 4-0 up. We win. I think they were 4-0 up at half time. I think. I can't remember, but they were first to everything. They played the conditions, and the game against Cray as well. The 3-3 game when we drew 3-3 with Cray as well. That game was close as well, man. We were quite lucky in that game. I think we were 3-1 up with about 10 minutes left, but like you said, we didn't give up. We didn't die. We kept on going until the end of the whistle, and we managed to get something out of the game. So I think those two games in particular were probably the toughest games this season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the Cray game was the 3-3 was one of the toughest. The one against Wallingham, I see it as a one-off. I don't know why. It was, they just got the better of us and we couldn't get ourselves back into it. But the game with Cray was a full-on battle. Goals with each end, both teams with things at stake. We was 3-1 down, managed to get back to 3-3, and I think that was kind of like a pivotal moment, because I think if we let up at that moment in time, where we are now would have been a little bit more difficult. to reach.
Okay.
And I think the 4-0 with Warner just it meant that we'd lost the same amount of games as everybody else. It drew us level. So if we would have lost to Cray on that day, we would have lost 3 games and everyone else would have lost 2.
To Black Klopp, why like do you think the boys didn't respond to not like only to the halftime team talk, but possibly how like Santos played a kind of different type of way?
We had a big talk in the change room at the end of the game. You was there. We just ran out of steam. And that's no disrespect to Santos. Again, they got their game plan. Their management had got their game plan on point, and their players were on point. We just ran out of steam. Everybody was expecting fight back. As Asher said, they were expecting something to come back. And when it didn't, of course, you grow into a game when there's nothing coming back. I was expecting something to come back because it was such a big game. It was there, win the game and you win the league. But there was just nothing in the tank left. And I can't kill them for it because we've still got to the promised land. So I can't kill them for it. Yeah, it would have been nice to have won the league, and we were winning. We were top for such a long time, and it pains to be nicked at the last game. But in the big scheme of things, at the very beginning of our journey, all of us, we wanted to get to where we're going to be next season. So when you think of the big picture, I can't kill the squad and every single player that has played for Peckham, LSU. And we've warped into independent. All of those players have helped us get to where we are now in this situation where we're going into the first division. So I can't kill them. We just came up against a better side on the day. Simple. Yeah. And that's football. Yeah,
that's football. There's like one comment that I personally just kind of want to answer. Ballers Academy. This person said, hopefully Independent can learn from Santos how to conduct themselves. Let me just kind of clarify one thing. Yeah. So I, as an independent player, literally, I can, as an independent player, I backed Independent to win the league. I said on this show, no matter what the situation was, Independent were going to win the league. And people may think that was wrong for me to publicly say that, but again, that's just how I am. Like, if I'm literally involved with like something, I will say exactly what I had to say. Also, as well, I don't think you was privileged to actually be there after the game, Ballers Academy, because after the game, we all came together for a good, literally, the groundsman had to kick us out of the ground because we were there together, taking pictures, we were taking videos, we were drinking together. We have the utmost respect for Santos and vice versa. We again, if you was there was at least over 100 people at the game yesterday. And if that's not an advert for Vets football, I don't know what is. And again, we are here on this channel to promote Vets football. So how Independent conducting, how you shouldn't put any kind of slur on Independent, because I'm not gonna have that, because I'm part of Independent. So again, I know, hey, everyone's kind of got their own opinion. I like whatnot, but I just kind of want to just kind of say that, just to kind of clear everything up. I've got Ray on the show as well. Ray, how you doing?
Hey, good evening. Good evening. Your mighty crash. Please drive carefully. No, good evening, panel. It's been a while since I've been on the show. I wanted to come on and say, yeah, well done, Santos, as we've already said. It's been a very good season. Lots of twists and turns, and it's been enjoyable to be a part of it. at the end of the day, when you get into Vetch football, you think, okay, everything's winding down now. But this season's just been an advert for where the competition is in Vetch football at the moment. Just to address, Tobrise beat me to it, to address some of the comments that are in the comments. I think some people blow or don't realize that a lot of stuff that's said online is jokes. It means nothing. It's like when we see Santos, when we see Catford, when we see all the other teams, you play, you give 100%, and then you shake each other's hand at the end of the game. And that's where the respect is. Some of the comments I see, and I think some of them are disrespectful in the sense of suggesting that there's no respect on our side for other teams, and I think that's nothing's further from the truth. I think yesterday, one of the big things that happened in the game yesterday, to me, which was bigger than the game, bigger than everything, was when Santos scored their first goal. And even in the face of arguing with his own team, Westy was like, let them score. Let them score, because we don't want to win like that. And for me, that encapsulated what we go out there for. Go out there for to play hard and to win in the right way. And that to me was a mark of respect on both sides, which is why I have felt the need to go over and shake his hand during the game, because that's what we come out for. And if that's not respect both ways, then I don't know what is. So yeah, that's all I want to say to that. The other thing I wanted to come on and say, and to echo Paul's comments, in the fact of, yeah, at the time it hurt, and it still hurts to lose like that, to lose any game, but in the manner which we did hurt. But when we started the season, or when we started, however, all them years ago, the goal was to get into Division 1. And even though some people smirked, some people laughed, here we are. We're in Division 1. I would like to go on record and thank all of the players that have played for us over the period of time. All of them. Nana, we've had our ups and downs, but you've been a part of that journey. And I've got nothing but respect for what you've done for the team. And I think even though you're with Catford now, you can hold your head high and say, I've played a massive part in Independent getting there. Nels, I see you in the comments this season. As I said to you, whatever happened, I wasn't happy with the way it went, but you played a part in us getting there, and that's not overlooked on my side. It is whatever happened is what it is, but I respect all of the players that have gone out and given their all for the cause of getting us where we got to. So, yeah, Santos, you made it a wicked title race. I can't wait to lock horns again next season. And yeah, it's 1-1 on paper, but you get an aggregate extra for winning the title. Leon, stop smiling. You're the one I'm coming for. I want to get one back. So yeah, I hope this helps.
You want to get your money? You want to get your money back as well?
You want your money in it?
Your money back.
Yeah. I want my money back. But yeah, I hope
your money's in that bar after that.
I hope it's one that we look back on when we're all finished and we say, "Rah, do you remember the up and the ding dongs with Independent?" That to me is what we're here for. That we could see each other in the road, shake hands, and say, "Rah, yeah, we got you that time." That's what it's about. So all the banter online, that to me means nothing. It's in the flesh. As Tobrise said, we were there drinking, talking, trying to do a bit more than football in sense of how we help our communities. That's what we're here for. And that's what it's about. So if we were going to lose the title, I'm glad that we lost it to you lot, because you lot deserved it. You take us down, you never give up. And when it came down to it, yeah, you completely deserved the game. So respect, but don't drink too much champagne, because we're coming for you.
Yeah, and again, I'm gonna literally put this question out there because again, people will be asking, do you think Independent bottled it?
Yeah, I think you did. I think, to be fair, I think from Christmas we we just didn't have that bite. We didn't have that. We didn't have that. What do you call it, Ross? I don't know what's wrong with you at times. It's like, I wonder if you got sense. But okay, respect, Nels. I think you're a wanker too, Nels. We'll have to go. We'll have to just look at that and take it from there. But yeah, no, I think from Christmas we lost a step. For us, Christmas came at the wrong time, and we just lost a step. And our fitness wasn't what it usually was, and we were struggling to get a rhythm. And I don't think we ever got one back. I think that game came, and where you hope it galvanizes us for us to mount one last challenge, and we just didn't have it in the tank. Didn't have it, and we could be playing now, and I don't think we would have scored past that team. So it is what it is. It's one of them things. You learn from it. You hopefully see. You hopefully see that next season you learn from that and you get a bit stronger. You go for it a bit more. So yeah, learning things.
I think bottled is a strong word and a strong take on it. I think we kind of knocked you a bit on the way we played. I don't think it was a little bit expected. I think because we got a grip, we wouldn't let you back in, it become more difficult to get back into the game. I wouldn't say you bottled it. You definitely tried to play your game, but it just wasn't coming together. I think the rhythm just wasn't there, and I think after a while the players themselves, this is my opinion, stopped believing. And then I think when one or two individuals stop believing, it makes it incredibly difficult as a team to go out and do the business and do the job. And that's what it kind of felt like, because winning the first, second and third ball, that doesn't happen regular or for long periods of games. So I just feel like they stopped believing after a while.
But you see, that's a lovely way of, to me, saying bottled. And that's the thing. To me, in a game, yeah, you're not gonna have the upper hand on your opponent for 90 minutes. And to me, your job is to, okay, he's won this one, he's not winning the second one, he's not winning the third one, and it's that way. But I just didn't see that fight back from us, and that, to me, I'm old-fashioned. It should be in your DNA. That fight. I mean, I've played with Barry in teams, and there's times where someone beats me to it, and I get that look from him. You got to do better the next time. So I know the next one he can't win, or he's got to move heaven and earth to win it. And that's, to me, where the bottle comes in. That's, to me, where that fight comes in. It's that taking the ball in places where they're all around me, but I got the bottle to do it, and I didn't see that from us, or from some. I didn't see enough of us, and that's the bit, to me, that hurt, because you just got to be confident in those kind of situations. You need someone on the pitch to say, this ain't happening today. And I looked around, and I just didn't see enough people on that game who was prepared to take it where it hurts, take the ball. They could see you guys coming in hard, and there wasn't enough of us prepared to put our body in between you and the ball and say, you got to go through me to get it. So, yeah, that's why, yeah, you're right. Maybe bottle's a hard word, but it's a hard sport. So sometimes you got to take it on the chin.
Coach Barry, you've been mightily quiet. I'd love to kind of get your kind of feelings about what people have said right now.
What's that? I heard what Raymond said, and I just go back to that. I didn't see the unity there, so you're not going to get that fight. If the team ain't united, and the spirit's not there, you're not going to get that fight. We didn't fight for each other. We didn't encourage each other. There was a lot of moaning going on. I don't know why. It's the first game I've come to, and it was completely different when I came last year to the cup final when we won, when that real spirit was there. I know there's a lot of things that's happened, which I'm not going to talk about on here, but I think that was really lacking. Leon, you see, Leon, do you know, are you related to Eric?
Yeah, it's my uncle, Eric and Derek.
Okay,
my
so
uncle.
played your uncle. Your uncle played for Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my uncle.
I saw the name Gus on. I said, I wonder if you're related to Eric. Yeah, say hello to Eric for me.
He was down there yesterday. He was at the game
Was he
yesterday.
there?
Yeah, he was down there.
All right, sorry to go. Yeah, but I think that was one of the big problems I saw yesterday with us. What we have to sit down, talk about it, and get straight and change that sort of element, because I'm not taking anything away from Santos at all, because they had their game plan, and I think we played straight into their game plan, because I've never seen us play so much long ball, and it wasn't working. It was falling straight into Santos' hands, coming straight back at us. But we played like that for 75 minutes, which I couldn't understand. So we played straight into Santos' strength, and they capitalized really well. Anytime they got the ball back, they used it better than us. So that's the worst I've seen independent play, but we wasn't allowed to play anyway by Santos. So I'm not taking any away from your performance,
Fair comment.
because you didn't allow us to play. But there's things we need to do and look at. But it's good because we never lose. You never lose, you learn. So remember that. You never lose, you learn. You never ever lose, you learn. So you taught us a lesson. You taught us a lesson and we'll learn.
Yeah.
But the journey goes on, because we've both gone to the next level now. Now let's see what happens. And this is what I'm about. I'm about solutions, looking forward, and where do we go from here? You saw everybody moaning and making comments on there, but where do we go from now? That's one of the biggest problems I've seen with us. We're always complaining and moaning. Let's plan. What do we do now? How do we go forward? Both teams need to plan. We're going to the next level. What do we do now? Let's sit down and structure and make sure we can make a presence in that division.
So Nick has come in with a question to both teams. What's the focus goals, objectives for next season for Santos and Independent? And I'll let Asher answer for Santos.
I mean, I haven't had such a discussion about that as of yet, but then I imagine that the aims are the same: to compete, to do as good as we can, to win as much football games as possible. And I think that will always be the ethos of the team in general. Obviously, have a good pre-season, and get into a good rhythm, and go out and compete and show everyone why we're there and that we deserve to be there.
Cool. And to Ray?
Much the same. We want to get there. We want to go up and have a good account of ourselves. We'll in the summer have a look at the squad, see what we need. You want to test the level, see what it's like. We've been up there yet. So the main thing is get there, assess what the level's like. I mean, we played a few Division 1 teams over the years, but playing them week in, week out is going to be new for all of us. And once we get that, I think the main thing is stability. So we'll try and we'll get up there, get our feet under the table, stay up, and then hopefully the following season try and mount a challenge.
Cool. Something, and again, going back to yesterday's game, something that kind of surprised me. Yeah, I'd say surprised me about Santos was, everyone kind of knows that they've got the footballing ability, but it's the kind of nastiness that they have. And when they scored, I mean, I don't know what happened regarding the goal, the disallowed goal. I don't know, but I believe that kind of threw Independent right off, thinking, okay, you know what, this is no friendly game. There's a lot of people that know each other from the opposing team, but for Santos to actually score that goal and actually wanted to play on from there, that meant that they meant business. And I just don't think that Independent have ever been in that situation where a team actually just wanted to play so nasty. And listen, when I say nasty, I say it in a positive way, where they were prepared to go in, and really cause pain, positive pain to the opposition. And yeah, you know, exactly what Ray said earlier on. You know, some of us responded, some of us didn't. And again, even like myself, that kind of came on, you know, I kind of looked around, and yeah, you know, it was probably the worst feeling, you know, as an independent player being on that pitch. And literally that's kind of saying a lot for like me at my grand old age. So yeah, it's hey, but again, you know, exactly what Coach Barry said, you know, like, you don't lose, you learn. So, you know, literally, again, I think hopefully everyone from independent kind of learned from this. And again, Santos as well. They kind of had a game plan, and it worked. It worked.
I think, Reece, just to add what you were saying, kind of about the nastiness, obviously in a positive way. We all talk in the changing room, and it's kind of the same mentality when we go out to any game. We literally tell each other, you know, crush them, step on their necks, on their hearts, make them crumble. And that's all part of the game plan to make you stop playing your game. It worked yesterday in that sense, because I don't think you was really expected to, you know, to be hit hard in that first and that second challenge, and to be ran down on every single pass, and really just to have no time to play or get your head up. If you can keep a team playing with their head down, you'll know you're doing something really, really well. And that's what it was. Like, we have an opportunity to win the title. It can only be taken from us. So are we gonna take charge, or are we gonna sit back and let it be taken from us? And it was literally that. You're my brother, you fight for me, I fight for you.
Yeah.
This guy should be a politician, you know.
Huh?
Actually, I should be a politician, you know.
Too much politics.
Can I say a couple of things to Bruce?
Yeah.
I wanna, give a shout out to Jamal for what the equipment that he gave us at the start of the season. Never once rang me, asked how it was or anything. Like to give a big respect for Jamal, and I'll be ringing you in the week. Also want to give a big respect to Nana. Even though we banter and some people take it the wrong way, you know that it's just banter, and we talk in the week, and you didn't have to, but you came after the game and said what you said, and it was true. And you know, because you know you've won games and you've lost games, you know what it feels like when you've just lost a game. But your words were true. So I'd like to thank you for that. I'd like to thank Barry as well for his phone call. It was words, and it meant a lot. Also, I like to say, I don't know if they're watching, but if any of people know them, The Wall, everybody, we should know what happened with them last week. I'll say that, you know, independent, we stand side by side with you 100 million %. Obviously, you know, we had our thing this season, but you know, I'm glad that you've highlighted it. You shone a torch on it, and just want to let you guys know, if you're watching or if anybody knows them, that independent, small vets club, and independent, the club itself, stand beside you 100%. 100%.
Leon, this is the most serious I've actually seen you be. Like every time I see you, like, always laughing and joking. Like, this is a different Leon I'm seeing right now.
You're the jack off.
To be honest, to be honest with you, Reece,
Go on then.
I'm so hangover, man. Like, I'm mashed up, man. I'm mashed up. That's all. I'm tired. I'm at work. I'm mashed up, man. That's what it is. I spent all their money. We spent all their money in the bar last night, man. So do you know what I mean?
Oh, dear.
So I'm paying for it now, man. I'm gonna feel like this for a few days, man. But I was gonna come on here and proper, like, give it, but I don't think I need to. Like, obviously, like we know a lot of their players and vice versa, and it was in good spirits. Obviously, after the game and everything, it was nice, man. But I did tell you this was gonna happen, though, Ray. I told you this was gonna happen. I told Tyrone, I told Nelson, I told all your players, Dan, all of them. I knew he was gonna beat you like that yesterday. I knew it 100%. But anyway, well done, man. You came out with us. That's what we said. That's what we both set out to do. You lot can come out with us. It's cool. We're both there. You know what I mean?
Nana. So as a kind of neutral, and again, I think Ray and Paula said it. Like you've been kind of part of the journey as well. Like what's the kind of ambition for Catford now, and just kind of seeing Independent and Santos. What's the feeling that in the Catford?
Can you mute Leon's mic, please?
He's done it.
Thank you. I'm happy for both teams. They thoroughly deserve it. They were the two best teams in the league, hands down. So kudos to them. Hope they fare very well in in Division 1. Whoever is Bobby Slack, tell him to shut up, please. I'm not licking any wounds. We had nothing to play for when it came to the league game. The semi-final of the Senior Cup, we did it to Santos, and that was the most important game for us. So let's move on. Now back to the league game and Catford. Catford, like we said from the beginning, building blocks. It's a new team. Next season is the season where Catford needs to stamp the authority with a full preseason. All these guys coming in, including me, getting a full preseason under our belts, getting the unity going, getting to know each other. I'll be surprised if we don't get to Division 1. That may be a bold statement for some, but I'm very confident. I'll be surprised if we don't get to Division 1 next season, because there's a lot of quality in the team, and it's just a matter of coming together. I think everybody in Catford is expecting that, but we just have to do the work. We just have to continue to do the work, continue grinding, and hopefully by the end of the season we should be in this Division 1. Now, where is Marlon? He was pants yesterday. I thought he was going to come on the show. Where is he? Shogsy. He was absolute pants.
No. I have to say, like, the play in question is not on the show. So, you do have your own opinion, which is fine.
But he can't answer. He can't answer.
That's why I said, where is he? I was expecting to be on the show today.
Listen,
he's got a black eye. He's got a black eye in Santos as well.
Okay.
Was it you, Leon?
He was in the wars, bro.
Was it you? Leon saying yes. Wow.
Leon was it?
Wow, Leon. It was
Leon and the centre back, the captain.
You're dangerous, man.
They dealt with him like Marlon spent more time complaining to the ref than actually playing football.
I think
Marlon's a first division player now, so he'll be all right.
I know.
He'll be all right.
I know. Yesterday wasn't his day.
He'll be all right.
Asher, you had something like to actually say about that.
Yeah, no, I think it was Robert, the centre back. Not that. To be honest, both of them was dealing with him. So yeah, comment, Nana.
This is what I meant by like winning the first ball and the aggression. It wasn't nasty. It was the aggression, and my disappointment was expecting Independent to match that energy, but it wasn't matched anywhere on the pitch. The first 5 minutes, because I was there from the beginning. First 5 minutes, yes, I saw Independent run at Santos, looking to make things happen. It was all guns blazing, and after that, everything sort of fell off. The aggression of Santos winning the first ball, the second ball, sometimes even the third ball, the tackles coming in. Like, if an Independent player turned around, they saw a Santos player. They could smell their breath. That's how it was. I saw Leon hands on Nino all the time. So it wasn't like you could turn around and run at him. It wasn't happening, and it was a very good game plan for Santos. They wanted a lot more. After 10 minutes, there was only going to be one win, especially when Dash went off as well. I'm really hoping that Independent can sort of recruit well as well, because what I found on the sidelines as well was Santos has quality, a lot of quality coming on the pitch from the bench as well. They did substitutions after every 20 minutes, 25 minutes, which kept fresh, and it didn't break any sort of rhythm throughout their play. And when Dash went off, it was very clear to see that the outlets had been sort of scuppered and things weren't going as was expected. I'm bantering Shugsy.
There's different ways. There's different ways to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's different ways. There's different ways to play. Dash is a very, very, very good Vets player. Marlon is a very good Vets player. They've got different attributes. I'm not going to kill the squad today. Today is Santos' day. Santos' season. They hunted us down, but I can't kill Independent squad. They went 10 games at the beginning of the season, and everybody thought it was over. And we had our dip, and we just couldn't get over the line. That's as simple as it is. But with all the people with the comments, I'm not reading them, but just remember this. We got to the promised land. So you could say what you want. In the end, we got to the promised land. So
cool.
That's all what matters. That's all what matters.
And Nick asked me a question. Tobrise, what's happening with the show in pre-season? The show is still going to continue. I don't stop working. Maybe a bank holiday I might have off, but every Sunday there's going to be a show. So yeah, nothing's going to be different unless I say. To Ray. Of course, there was a kind of conversation in the changing rooms. Paul kind of alluded to it. As as a kind of management team, yourself, Paul, and also Gary, how are you guys gonna come together and iron out any kind of differences, and also look at the positives with the squad?
I'll let Paul answer first because I've got to get my charger. My laptop's gonna die.
We're a very dynamic squad, a lot of personalities, and I love it. They drive me insane, but I love it. The heated arguments, you should, because you shouldn't be sitting there and accept what happened. So that's not a problem to me. In the cold light of day, they got promoted. Santos won it, and we got promoted in the cold light of day. Didn't turn up on the day, but the bigger picture is that we got promoted. It was a hard season. It looked like it was ours, and then it was taken away from us. That's football, man. That's football. You've got to learn from it, and you move on. As Ray said, we recruit in the summer. As I've always said, good players know good players. And we try and stabilize in the first division. And we go on. We've played first division teams before. We've beaten and we've lost. So, there's no fear going up.
Can I ask you a question, Paul?
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned from December, for a while, Independent hasn't been all guns blazing. Yeah, I'm happy you guys, you've reached the promised land like the aim was. But as a manager, what do you do to regalvanize the squad? Bring that fighting spirit, that hunger back, so that days like these, because it wasn't only yesterday's game.
I think
games versus Wallingham, or
I think the hunger has always been there, Nana. The way we play, we press high. You need to be fit. You know that. You've been with us. You need to be fit. And I feel that the fitness wasn't there. The 10 games, we were very lucky. Weren't playing brilliant football, but you don't have to play brilliant football. It's all matters about is the W at the end. But after Christmas, you can see the fall off. Definitely could see the fall off. And that's just the way it is. Santos were fit, and yesterday they were fit. They were fit. You know what I mean? And we just ran out of steam. That's just the way it is. If there was another game next Saturday, I totally believe we would lose that game again on Saturday because we've just run out of steam. And that's just being honest. That's just being honest. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Thank you, Leon. So it's just the way it is. You know what I mean? So, but in the end, we still got there. I would have been really disappointed if we didn't get there. If Cray had won all their games and nicked us at the end and we're third, wouldn't have felt like you wanted to, you know what I mean? But it didn't work out that way. We came up, the league don't lie. 2 best teams. Santos, top, we're second. 2 best teams, league don't lie. You are where you are in the league because you deserve to be where you are in the league. Simple as that. And we deserve to come second. Should have won the league earlier on in the season. We didn't. They came and they took it from us. They deserved it. Simple as that. It's as simple as that.
You know, Paul, I don't think Santos took it from Independent.
Yes, they did.
They just won it. Like
no, they took it from us. Of course they took it from us.
Like, you're 15 points ahead at the time, you know?
They took it from us.
Tobrise, stop your nonsense, Tobrise.
They took it from us. Of course they took it from us. They hunted us down, and at the final game, they changed their game plan a little bit, and they took it from us. They said, you know what? You're not going to be playing football today. Simple as that. We're going to be playing football today. Simple as that. And that's what they did for the 90 minutes. I thought there would be a drop-off. I said to the guys at halftime, if we get back to playing the football that I know we can play, I'm sure they've got to change their game plan. But we didn't. We couldn't. And they kept to their game plan. All respect to their management and their players. Their squad. So they took it from us. Simple, man.
Actually,
I don't think we took it. I think, when we played the game against you lot, when you lot beat us 3-1, obviously we was level on points. Our records were like exactly the same. Then you lot beat us. Then I think it was when we didn't have a game for like 5 weeks or something like that. And obviously you lot were whatever points.
Don't lie, Leon. Don't lie. You did have games. You would play. Don't tell. Don't tell lie.
We didn't play a game.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Remember, you meant to play right after Christmas, and you cancelled that game because you hadn't played for 5 weeks. Don't lie.
It was so far ahead of us because we hadn't played any games. Yeah, all we had to do was win our games in hand, which we did. We had a little, little moment where we dropped a few points, but once we got back again, we just done what we had to do. We didn't take it. We deserved to win. And we did.
Don't take it is the same as deserve to win, Leon. Come on. I know you're at work with Ty and Eastman now, so you're smiling and bigging it up. I know you
Leon,
are. Take it is the same as deserve it, man.
Yeah, you have to remember they was top since November, I think, for a very, very long time. So when you come along and then you pick them, you take it from them.
Well said,
like Paul's always said, points on the board. They had them. We never had them. And we still had a
but we were going to get them.
Still had a dip, but because we was confident that we could get them. Okay.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Coach.
And I just heard from Fulham, West Fulham, they won 5-4. London.
Oh wow! So it's a repeat of last year's final. Charcoal versus West Fulham. Very, very, very interesting. Coach Barry, again, you've been waiting patiently in the wings. I know that you're not happy.
You know, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine, Tobrise. I'm disappointed. That's about it. But we just got to move on now. It's over. Leave Santos to keep celebrating. Leave Leon to keep smiling and laughing. Leave them to enjoy their victory, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all about us planning what we're going to do next season and get things right. I think that's what we've got to look forward with our recruitment. Make sure we know what we're going to do next year and make a big difference. The other thing, what I noticed in the game, like we just had one way of playing and we didn't adapt to Santos. Santos might have changed their style to beat us that game. I don't know much about Santos, the way they play, but I know they're a good side. And we didn't adapt at all to anything what happened. It was a physical game. The referee, I thought, he let it get really physical because he let a few things go, which I think wasn't in our favour. But no, we just have to look back at what we've done and what we've done wrong, and take something away from Santos, how they've kept their strength and unity together to play so strong and keep that consistency going all the way through and stick with us. And remember, the last game, we wasn't top, so they didn't take anything from us. They were top at the last game of the season. Remember that. We weren't top.
That's the thing. Yeah.
We weren't top at the end of the season. They were top for the last game of the season. So they just claimed what was theirs, really, because they were top. But we move forward. We move forward. Let's just get positive and stop being all sorry for ourselves and move forward. Let's try and see if we can do something, make a statement in that top division. I'm sure Ashley will be planning to make a statement in that top division next season. And we should be looking at that. Well, we've gone over, game over, move forward. What are we going to do next season? Because it's going to be much harder opposition. And Klopp and Ray's going to need that cap on, that thinking cap's on all the way. I hope you come up next season, Nana.
That's the plan.
Pardon?
That's the plan.
Okay, we want to see.
Yeah. I'm sure Cray Wanderers and Hollington and whoever else is coming up, they'll have something to say about it.
Yeah, Hollington were there recruiting. They was at the game. I spoke to them, so they're recruiting.
Yeah, I saw them. So it's going to be a you know.
Hey, Leon, was Derek there yesterday?
No, Derek wasn't there. Just Eric.
Say hello to Derek. I forgot about him. Say hello to Big Derek as well.
I will do.
So yeah. So guys, honestly, thank you so much for of course the independent management coming onto the show. Asher and Leon as well. Thank you so much. Nana as well for coming on, and also Coach Barry. Again, as I kind of said before, I'm sure that there must have been over 100 people there. And again, it was a great advert for Bex Football, and literally anyone that's kind of going that's turning 35. Trust me, it's not walking football. These are players that are still competitive. These are players that well, actually, no, I'm not gonna say they've actually lost any pace, because again, the pace of the game was ferocious. It's not walking football, guys. Trust me. And again, we all come from an era where, you can kind of play like football, and the kind of banter's, very strong and real and literally aggressive. And you've got to win your one-on-ones. And again, regarding the whole season, Division 2 has kind of literally been the marquee division for the Southern Vets Football League. So again, thank you for Santos for not thank you, but again, congratulations to Santos and
Cray Wanderers, man.
Cray, you know what, Cray as well
pushed us all the
100%
way until yesterday. Pushed us all the way. Nice
100%.
team. Nice team.
100%. And again, big shout out to Catford and literally Nick as well. So guys, honestly, thank you so much for coming on. Asher, what's that, Leon?
Can I get that the game, please, as soon as you've downloaded it?
Oh my god! The camera, Leon, the camera wasn't working yesterday.
We knew that already.
I don't know what happened to it. The camera wasn't working, Dread. I don't know.
Oh dear. Honestly,
forgot to press play.
Asher, Black Klopp, Leon, Coach Barry, Ray, and Nana, thank you all for like coming on. We'll be back next week. Please like and subscribe. Do like all of the good stuff. My name is Tobrise, and you know what? Actually, you know what? Before I even come off, you know what? Actually, you're absolutely right. Luke is probably the best grassroots centre back in the league.
After he's not better than him. He's not better than him. Get out of here, man.
Thank you for kindly.
Go away, man. I'm not having that.
Listen, you know what, Luke did his job, and literally kind of did his job really, really, really well. And
Luke is the captain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good centre back.
Very, yeah. So I've literally got to probably amend my intro slightly. But again, guys, thank you so much for coming on. We'll be back next week, same time. Please like and subscribe. Do all of the great stuff. Have a wonderful and positive week. We are out.